Good morning, everybody. So I worked out here to almost 8 o'clock last night, burning these brush piles, and it appears that they have burnt down very nicely. I'm going to go over here and round up this one. Looks like the smoke is blowing in that direction, so that should give me a chance to get up here and get some more of this brush from the back side and pile it up on there and get that burning down today. So definitely not a whole lot left right here of this pile. I'm gonna stack all this stuff up from the edge because it's the driest from being beside the fire all night long, and grab some of these little stumps that are now just dirt balls, bounce those a couple times and knock the clay off, throw it back in the fire for another round. Probably should have came back over here last night before bed and stacked it up again, but it had been a long day and I didn't feel like it. So here we are. Of course the wind's, well, I mean the wind's blowing in the right direction for the way I have the piles set up, but I would prefer if it blows behind me, as it doesn't bother anybody when it blows in that direction. But it'll all be burnt today, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. Those little red oak trees I took down, those stumps always have a giant root ball of dirt on them. All the little fine roots, it's hard to get the cleaned off pretty good. I'll pile that up right there and let it do what it's going to do. Jeff's all excited this morning, seeing some progress. Progress is always good. Pick up a few more little pieces of this stuff, and I'm gonna grab some of that brush behind me, lay it on the fire, go over there and round up pile number 2. And I need to get over there. We need to offset the basement stakes and take down that big tree where the basement for his house is going. That way I can go ahead and get it burnt while the fire is burning. To pile number 2. I'm going to get it restacked. And burning again. Grab some of this little stuff. It's kind of wet and muddy, but it'll catch up. Need to grab some of these stumps. Them out, knock a little dirt off them. That one's not too bad. But this one is. I think we need to spin the other direction so we don't disappear in the dust. Oh, that was smart. big blob of mud. I thought about that the second I was going to drop it, if it was going to splatter or not. And I was right. It did. Oh, I got... the whole machine is muddy. I have to go over to the pond and splash it now. Well, we all have our dumb moments, and that was one. Oh, it's all over the side, the windows, everything. Not the first time that's happened. At least we caught it on video, though. I need to get that big stump out of there for right now. That's just going to screw up the whole process here. Just not drop it in the mud again. Good as this one was burning yesterday, it might be a little bit difficult to get back going. Lay these stumps to the side and get all that little stuff piled back in there. Go over to the pond here in a minute before all this dries on the machine and try to wash it off. Continue to drop the steps up here where the ground's not muddy. Let this catch up. I'm going to run over here with the excavator, splash a little water on the machine, wipe the windows off, and then come back over here and finish stacking the rest of this brush on here. Then I'm wanting to go over there and take that hickory tree down that's in the basement footprint, and then it'll be time to probably restack that pile over there with some more stuff. Today's goal is to get everything burnt and work on my little ditch under the road up there probably this afternoon or mid-morning. Just see how everything goes. And that's how you wash the machine off. Get all the mud off the side window over here, but I got to be careful because the bucket tooth will hit the cab. So I can't get too too overzealous here flinging, because I'll stab the bucket tooth right through my windshield here. Because it will come up in the cab. Well, I think it will. Maybe not. I don't know. It gets very, very close. We're not going to find out. All right, stack the fire. All right, so I'm up here where Jeff is going to build his house. The big hickory tree is literally right here in the corner. Luckily, it's the only tree that has to come down, and all these other beautiful white oaks can stay. Big yellow jacket's nest right there. I got attacked yesterday while looking at it, so I'm sure there's a lot going to come out of the ground. I want to do my best just to try to push this tree over and then walk over there and grab it so that I don't tear up. We're going to lose this corner right here, but I think we can mark it back out. Alright, so I'm going to take a couple scoops from the side here. Hickory trees have a pretty shallow root system, so hopefully I can get these broke up. Yellow jackets are going to start swarming out here pretty soon, now that I have just unearthed the nest of them. They are going to be pissed. Oh, look at them coming out of the ground everywhere. The ground is swarming now. To the side of the bucket about 2 feet, so I'm trying not to unearth it so that we can put everything back. But there are bees everywhere. I think it's gonna go. Here we go. Timber! Going to put this dirt back here for now to fill in the hole. We should be digging the basement next week. Hopefully my new machine arrives for that. It'll be a fun job to use it on. But we'll just have to see. Rake some of this dirt off and then go over there and break some of those branches out. It is a hickory tree, so that's not going to be fun at all. But hopefully I can get it broken in half, take half of it over there, and then come back and get the other half. I think it's a little bit big to tote the whole entire tree. But I'm going to sit here and keep breaking some dirt off of the stump, and then go over there and try to break it up a little bit. So I got the tree over there cleaned up. Back up here on lot number 2, grabbing what's left of this brush and tracking it over here to the burn pile. Great day for burning today, hardly no wind. Fire's nice and hot, not much smoke, just a all around good day for it. That pile's burning down good. I'm gonna throw 2 or 3 more grapplefuls on here and go over there and stack that up again, and probably get the dozer, put the rake on, kind of letting this dry out a little bit before I try to rake it so I don't get too much dirt in it. Hence why I'm not taking the dozer and trying to push all this over here. You end up with a big wad of mess. Plus, when I cleared this stuff, I kind of cleared it tree length, so it's a little bit difficult. Just time consuming. So I'm just grabbing it now and piling it up into the burn pile, and then as it burns in half, I just kind of push the edges up stacking more on there. So there's probably about, I don't know, 10 or 15 more grapplefuls left. And then everything from here will be in the pile. Let this dry out some and I can kind of rake it. I got about a half a dump truck load left up there from the first burn that I will go and load into the truck, haul down here and dump into the pile, and a little bit from a tree that fell over there. I'll do one or two things, put that in the truck, and or just grab the excavator and go throw it in the pile. So it's probably what I'm going to spend the rest of the day doing. Disappearing about as fast as I can put it onto the burn pile, so that's also good. This is honestly like the perfect stuff to burn, because you got stumps, a lot of brush, some trees, so not too much of anything, and it just makes perfect fire. Sizzling. Call it cooking. Alright, let me grab one more and I'm going to go over there and stack that other pile back up. So those piles are burning down. Now I got all the brush in there. Before I go to lunch, I'm going to jump on the roller and hit the trail right there. Now that it has plenty of moisture from that rain, it should set the stone pretty good. And all that we'll need is just a little fine grading with the motor grader, and the edges dressed up once it dries off. People do ask why there is no grass over here, and this is the reason. This is what the dirt looks like out here. Topsoil, I mean, you can see it. It's just as black as it can be right here, but there is a very high quantity of rock in the soil. So what happens is it rains on it, topsoil goes down. I mean, it's black, there's dirt topsoil there, but the ground gets so hard and compact that stuff won't grow in it. So we're actually going to haul in a bunch of compost to mix in with this and hopefully get some grass to grow around here to help these banks. We're going to go all the way around the pond and all the hillsides over there. These are the house lots, so we're not really going to mess with a whole lot right here. It actually does not really erode now since it has so much rock in it, because all this will get tore up whenever they do the house right here and there. So no need to invest a lot of time and money in that, only to be tore up later. But if you never get something like growing in it, it does hold its own. So it's after lunch here now, and I am back over here on house lot number 2 to restack the pile, get all this pushed up, the outside edges. Everything's starting to dry off pretty rapidly now, so I'm trying to get all this stuff burned up today before it dries off too much and burnt up. I got 2 or 3 more grapplefuls up here at the start I'm going to grab and chunk on the fire, and then I already drove the dump truck up there to the old burn pile. There's some stuff up there, about a load I need to grab and bring down here and dump into the pile. And then over there by his camper, part of an old tree that blew over in a storm after I built the pond. Then I'm going to finish out the day root raking this right here and putting that stuff on the fire to finish out the day. Everywhere now when I was grabbing those big piles, but it's kind of dried out nicely, so I should be able to run through here with the dozer and kind of rake through it pretty quickly. But I'm still going to go ahead and grab this stuff and go ahead and put it in the fire, because it's going to be a little while before I'm over here with the dozer. That should give this pretty much time to burn up by then, so I'll just be kind of picking out little stuff then. Well, the fires are all stacked up. Cleaned up everything up there and the pile over there and over there. Restack the fires again. I'm gonna jump on the dozer, run up there and grab the root rake and go ahead and rake over this lot before I go home today and put whatever I can on the fire so it'll burn down tonight. I got everything raked now. I got the bigger debris pushed down there to the fire. I'm gonna go through there with the excavator and kind of pick the big stuff out. And I've raked it again in that direction. It's got all the smaller stuff. I talked to Jeff. We're actually gonna stockpile it in the back corner of the farm and let it rot down, so maybe he can have a little bit of topsoil. There's a little bit out here, but once it rains on it, I swear it just turns red. And I'll pick through that, push that over there to the side, and probably haul that back there as well. He'll have 3 or 4 loads of stuff to maybe kind of compost down a little bit over time, and by the time he gets his house done, might be some decent topsoil for that. That's all that's left of the fire. Well, let's call it a day for today. Be back in the morning to finish burning that up, and I may go ahead and clean that dirt and roots up, get all that get the lot graded off. That's pretty much all that's left. It's probably about 2 dump truck loads. There's a fair amount of ashes there. May dip some water out of the pond and put that in the pile, or maybe back the truck down there and dump it. I don't know, have to figure that out. But we're gonna let that die down tonight and clean that up tomorrow, and then get started on cutting my ditch in up there, putting the pipe under the road. We're getting 5 loads of that smaller riprap to line the front face of the pond dam to prevent that from eroding and ease the maintenance of having to weed whack anything. And we'll probably do that on Friday. But yeah, be back tomorrow to get some more done.